However, there is a wait list. And right now that wait list to get a slip or that link to park your plane is currently sitting at about 13 years long. So 13 years from sign up to finally getting a spot on that lake to park your plane. And to even sign your name up on that wait list to begin with, you need to already have your pilot's license, your medical card, and you have to own at least a third of a plane. Then you can sign your name up and wait those 13 years. And they have this waitlist publicly available online. You can go online, search up Lake Hood Seaplane Base Float Slip Waitlist. I took a look at that waitlist about a month ago. At that time, that waitlist was sitting at 371 names, and the next person in line for a spot signed their name up March 27th, 2013. Just crazy. But it makes sense, right? Here in Alaska, we have the most licensed pilots per capita, and we're the largest city in Alaska at the most convenient location that only has about 500 spots in total. It makes sense that it's going to be such a long way. Yeah.
The name of this road, Northern Lights?
Yeah. So right now we're on Northern Lights Boulevard, and the Northern Lights in Alaska, they are synonymous with one another, the Aurora Borealis. But you can only see them at certain times of the year. Here in Anchorage, our Northern Lights season is generally considered to be August 21st to April 21st, with the peak of that season being right there in the middle. And when we do see the Northern Lights here in Anchorage, it's not the best Northern Lights show that you're ever going to see. We'll get some white lights, we'll get some green lights, we'll get purple lights if it's strong enough. But the further north you go, kind of the more interior you are, the better your chances are. Fairbanks, Alaska is Northern Lights Central during the wintertime. That's really where you gotta go if you want to get the most tourists go out of Fairbanks during the wintertime. There are 3 specific ingredients that you need to be able to see those Northern Lights, at least at their very best. First, you need complete darkness. Next, you need completely clear skies. And the last thing you need is solar activity, which is measured on a scale of 1 to 10, and anything above a 5 is a pretty good chance at seeing those Northern Lights. And when we do see the Northern Lights here in Anchorage, as I said, not the best Northern Light show you'll ever see. White lights, green lights, purple lights if it's strong enough. But you also have to get away from big cities because light pollution will obstruct your view. Kind of like seeing the stars. You're not going to see them the best from a large city, but further away you'll be able to see them better. Fairbanks, Alaska, the Fairbanks area will see the Northern Lights about 200 days out of the entire year. You got a good chance if you go up to Fairbanks in the month of January. Enjoy negative 50-degree Fahrenheit temperatures. See those Northern Lights. What was that? Negative 50-degree Fahrenheit temperatures. I'm right along with you guys. No, thank you. That doesn't sound appealing. You know, there's something about, I don't know about you guys, but walking from your car to your hotel and having your hair freeze during that time, this doesn't sound too nice. But that's sometimes what you got to do to see the best things. You have to endure. So, I recommend make the trip sometime. Make it happen. It's really not that bad, is what I'd be saying to you if I was lying. It is that bad. I've never been to Fairbanks during the wintertime, and I'm born and raised here in Alaska. I don't really see a reason to do so. I'm fine with my negative 30 here in Anchorage. And that's what we got down to this past winter. It won't sustain those cold temperatures for very long, but we had a couple really cold stretches. Luckily, for the longest of that cold stretches, I was enjoying 70 and 80 degree temperatures in Guatemala. I left at the right time for a little vacation. That's what a lot of Alaskans will do. You'll have Alaskans who will, come up and enjoy the summer. If you're able to, people like to leave during the wintertime. They call them snowbirds. And being a snowbird's the dream. Here in a second, we're going to be turning from, Northern Lights Boulevard actually turned into Benson Boulevard right here, and we'll be seeing Northern Lights Boulevard once again. But we're going to be turning onto Minnesota Drive. Earlier, we were on Wisconsin Street. Here in Anchorage, we also have Oregon, Idaho, and Iowa Street. And all of those streets that I just named are named after farmers that came up to Alaska during the Great Depression as part of the New Deal. So President Roosevelt said, come to Alaska, get 40 acres, get a cow, get a tractor. And about 200 families took them up on that offer and decided to come up to Alaska to start farming. What those farmers quickly found out is that farming in Alaska was going to be just a little bit different than any other state that they were coming from. And that's because from frost to frost, We only have about 90 days that makes our growing season, but during those 90 days, we get a lot of sunlight. Here in Anchorage, Alaska will get up to 19 hours of sunlight during the summertime, and that's 22 hours of functional daylight at our peak on June 21st. And it does vary throughout the state how much sunlight you're going to get during the winter and the summer, but 19 hours here in Anchorage, all that sunlight that we get throughout those 90 days acts as a super boost for the vegetables that we look to grow here within our state. Each year at our Alaska State Fair in the month of August, we have our annual giant vegetable growing competition and showcase. Here's a few of our state records. 19-pound carrot, 30-pound zucchini, 39-pound head of broccoli. And the largest of them all is our record pumpkin. The largest pumpkin that was ever recorded at our Alaska State Fair was in 2022, grown by a man named Dale Marshall. And Dale Marshall's record-breaking pumpkin weighed in at a whopping 2,147 pounds. That is the largest pumpkin ever recorded at our Alaska State Fair. And after the tour is done, either if you're curious or if you don't believe me, go search up a photo of that pumpkin. That pumpkin is humongous. There's also a video showing how they transport it to the state fair. If you're curious, how do you move a 2,147-pound pumpkin? Very carefully. Large crane, heavy-duty straps, a trailer large enough to put that pumpkin in one piece. It is a very delicate process. Dale Marshall has won the contest for the largest pumpkin at the state fair about 6 years in a row. So I'm sure he'll win it again this year. It's very impressive. Go search up those pumpkins. And after the state fair is done, those giant vegetables will get donated down to the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center. So the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center is south of Anchorage, about a 45-minute drive. They have these giant enclosures with a bunch of different animals. I highly recommend checking it out if you're able to fit it into your trip. And those vegetables will get donated down each year. It's a good way to recycle. Up here to your right side, for the next few blocks, you're going to notice that a lot of these homes are built in a very similar fashion, almost identical. And that's because these homes to your right side were actually the original Army barracks used during World War II to house soldiers up here within our state. So we had soldiers stationed up here during World War II. Some of those soldiers did see battle here in Alaska. Down on the Aleutian chain, that chain of islands, it extends to the west from our state. And the islands of Attu and Kiska, the United States, with help from Canada, fought against Japan. And at many different moments in Alaska history, you're going to have some U.S. military history that mixes in along the way. An important part of that history that I'd like to highlight has to do with the Alcan Highway, the Alaska-Canada Highway, which connects Alaska with the rest of the United States through Canada. Just over 80 years ago, that highway didn't exist. It was some of the most inhospitable land in all of North America. But during World War II, after Pearl Harbor was attacked, the Pentagon thought that Alaska was next, so we needed an escape route. 2 battalions from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers would be tasked with completing this highway. One starting here in Alaska near Fairbanks, one starting in Canada near Dawson Creek, and then meeting in the middle. And in 8 months, those 2 battalions completed 1,700 miles of road through some of the worst conditions imaginable, allowing Alaskans to have an escape route during wartime. One of those battalions was the very first all-African-American battalions in the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and helped pave the way for Alaska to be the first state in the United States to pass anti-discrimination law. A very significant part of our history. Now up here on your right side, you guys are going to see that blue flag waving in the wind. And if you don't see it now, you'll see it all around town. That blue flag is our Alaska state flag. Our state flag was designed in 1927 by a 13-year-old Alaska Native orphan named Benny Benson, who designed that flag, entered it into his school's competition to pick the territory's flag, won that competition, was awarded $1,000, a gold watch, and a trip to Washington, D.C. And something that every Alaskan elementary schooler learns is our Alaska state flag song, which I'm going to show to you guys now. 8 stars of gold on a field of blue, Alaska's flag, may it mean to you the blue of the sea, the evening sky, the mountain lakes and the flowers nearby, the gold of the early sourdough dreams, the precious gold of our hills and streams, The brilliant stars in the northern sky, the Bear, the Dipper, and shining high, the great North Star with its steady light, o'er land and sea, a beacon bright. Alaska's flag to Alaskans dear, a simple flag of a last frontier. Thank you guys so much. That was our Alaska State Flag song. As we come to the end of our tour, I just wanted to say thank you so much. Without you guys coming up here, we would not be where we are today. I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your trip. Once again, if you enjoyed the tour, my name is Caij, and if you did not enjoy the tour, my name is Colin. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Cái màu lù lù.
I got the can going down. Yep, you're welcome. Absolutely.
Nhiều lòng ít số một. Giờ nhà họ cứ giờ trang xe là chị có cho nhà vui về.
Have a great trip.
Thank you. Gì ban cha rồi.
Tông được rồi. Theo các tin chạy rồi nó đẹp bông à.
Nó trắng số nó lạnh cháu. I don't see. Alaska, last frontier, souvenir and gift shop. trash.
Look at that. Fin. Remember the fin? Yeah. I do it how that's how you're gonna go now. Go with the fin roll. With the roll. The Kodak. And have to take you like 2 weeks to get your picture back. If you love. Come on, come in the fin. And
Visitor Information Center. Alaska.